Thank you, Mike.
Well, we could wait a couple of minutes for Rima, or you can go ahead and start by introducing yourself.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get started, and we should be fine. We have few students, and I don't want to have them waiting. Hello, everyone. I'm Farima Fakour. I'm a professor in the School of Accounting and also director and chair of graduate and undergraduate accounting programs. And here I have Cindy Goldberg, assistant dean, School of Accounting and School of Taxation program. Cindy is here to help us with the application process aspect of this presentation. And I have Mike Wu, who is in charge of the international student admission advising. And I want to pass on to Sydney, if you could please introduce yourself to the group. Thank you.
Thank you, Farima. Yes, as Farima said, I'm the assistant dean for the School of Accounting and the Braden School of Tax. I've been with Golden Gate for the past 3 years. In a prior life, I was a practicing attorney, and about 10 years ago, I transitioned into higher ed and academia, and I've worked in tax and I'm just starting in accounting, but they overlap so much. I feel like I can relate to it quite a bit. But we do hope to give you some really good information today, and we want to welcome you to our presentation this afternoon.
Thank you, Cindy. How about Mike?
Hello, my name is Mike. I represent the admissions office today. At the end of the presentation today by Farima, you will be having a Q&A section. If you have any questions regarding your circumstances, admissions, application, feel free to leave it at the end of the presentation. We'll be taking the time to answer your inquiries. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Pooja, would you please introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, my name is Pooja. I'm an international student from India. I've applied for Masters in Accountancy and Data Analytics. So yeah, this webinar is for attending what are the application procedures for the Masters program in Accounting. Thank you.
Thank you, Pooja. Roxanne?
Hi, I'm Roxanne Sevchuk, and I'm a prospective student. I think I was interested in a certificate program in accounting. I do have a bachelor's degree, but it's in liberal studies. But all my life I've held accounts payable roles. And I think it's about time that I really, study accounting and be able to further my career. So at this time, I think I'm interested in the certificate program, but very possibly a master's degree.
Thank you so much for your introduction. Happy to help to discuss these options further. Catalina? It seems Catalina doesn't hear us.
She posted in the chat.
Oh, okay. So let's get started. Thank you so much, everyone, for your introduction. I didn't mention that I have been with Golden Gate University for about 22, 23 years. I started teaching on part-time basis, and my background was in corporate environment. I was in my corporate world. I was heading accounting departments for many companies. The last company I was with back then, I took it public, and after that I exited out and pursued my passion, which is academia and teaching. And just recently, after 12 years, I got my doctorate from Golden Gate University. So I'm also alumni, and I'm happy to be here to provide you information about our wonderful university and our excellent program and why. So why GGU? I know based on your introduction, we have students who are interested in our university, who have applied, got accepted, and are going to pursue, but they want to learn a little more. So GGU has been a leader in adult education more than a century. And our flexible class schedules, different modality, and our student-focused approach really caters to working professionals who have multiple commitments. They have to balance their life with their work, with their family. So this is what we are focused on. Our classroom experience is very personable, and we have a small classroom, and faculty is really focused in helping the students to really have a fruitful academic journey, I would call it. An academic journey that not only you learn, but you know that you're important, and we are here to help you to achieve your goals, because you are juggling many responsibilities, and we understand that. What we teach is applicable to what you face in the profession out there, because many of our classes are taught by practitioners who are actively working out there, and they bring their experience and knowledge to the classroom. We have a fantastic relationship with the accounting firms. As you know, we are in the financial district of San Francisco, and many accounting firms do come to us and recruit the students from us. We are offering a lot of courses. As I will go through this presentation, I talk about the 4 concentrations that we have and the different options you have for your focused area, and what sort of courses you can take, and many elective courses. I have the tax program is #1 in the nation, and for adult learners. And this is something that we are tremendously proud of, and that tells about our programs as a whole. So our accounting program is nothing less. A couple of years ago, we ranked #6 in the nation. And so our accounting programs is something that is sought after by the students, and accounting firms do know that what we are doing here at GGU is applicable to the real world, and they like that, and they recruit from our students. So benefits of the MS in accounting and data analytics degree. So this degree program, the MSADA, really bridges advanced accounting concepts with data analytics, which is super important. It will equip you with the essential skills and knowledge that you need to have these days in order to be able to shine among your peers and compete in the field. So super focused, super applicable, cutting edge program. Also, the MSADA develops your understanding of accounting and analytical concept beyond just theory. So it's not just sitting in the classroom, learn some accounting theories. You get practical application of this knowledge. And this program will position you to become leaders in a field as you gain more experience. So you will have a lot of different career paths. You can go for public accounting firms. Many students do that. You can work in the private industry, which I did after I got my degree 30 years ago, and I had a fantastic career path. You can work for a government agency, nonprofit organizations, which is very common in San Francisco area. People have a big interest. We have high job placement at the Big 4 and medium to small accounting firms. As I mentioned, our program is quite well known, and Big 4 come to us to recruit. We are very close to them in the financial districts, and they're pretty aware and get their input in our contents, in our courses. So they are knowledgeable about our program and what we are teaching. So going through our program will provide you a lot of opportunities to network with other professionals, and you have access to all of us, and you will get mentoring support. We are all here to ensure your success, and our degree program have proven to be a fantastic tool to have in your toolbox as you embark on your journey in the field of accounting. We get a lot of students in our MS program who do not have accounting background, and they start taking our foundation courses and so forth to get it started. So I mentioned that our students can choose many different career paths, and where are they working? They can be in government agency, they can be in PwC, Deloitte and Touche, and many more. You see a list of names here on this slide, and they really do work in all these organizations. And as a student coming to us, eventually you will be part of the alumni, and you will have a vast network to connect and take advantage of all the things that may be available to you. You can get on LinkedIn and connect to the alumni even before you graduate. They can help you to look for a job. They can mentor you. We have had many situations as such, and our alumni is quite engaged with the university. MS in Accounting and Data Analytics, for short, MS ADA. So you have to have accounting proficiencies, Math 20, and one econ course. Either you have econ 1 or econ 2. You also have to have a foundation courses, and that applies also in certificate in accounting. I know one student mentioned they're interested in that, and that is accounting 1A and 1B, 200A, 200B, and auditing. Next few slides, I'm going to go through what you will be taking in MSADA. And as you go through each stage, what percentage of work you have completed, and where you stand really on your path to completion. So you start with your core required courses, 12 units. That means 4 courses. Each course is 3 units. Accounting 300, Accounting Research and Communication, which I teach, so you will be working with me. Accounting 336, which is Introduction to Data Analytics for Accountants. Accounting 339, Automation and Innovative Technologies. And 351C, Analysis of Financial Information for Accountants. The 3 courses that I just mentioned, besides 300, which I teach, are taught by 2 fantastic professors who are super experienced in their field, and their classes are always quite dynamic and full. You will also take elective courses. So you will have 6 units, which is 2 courses, 3 units each, and you can take any 300 level courses. So if you do not pursue the Advanced Analytics for Accountants concentration, you may select MSBA 328 in place of one of the 2 accounting courses. I have had the students ask me, if I want to go for other concentrations, can I take analytics courses as electives? Yes, you can. And that applies vice versa. So you may be in other concentrations, and you may be in actually ADA, and you want to take your electives in other concentration, and that is absolutely doable. And at this point, after you finish your elective courses, you would be at 60% completion. And then you have to finish your other elective courses, which is a combination of 12 units. So you can select any 4 Accounting 300 level courses. So you can take Accounting 398, internship, that you can do up to 6 units of these elective courses as an internship. You can work with our career department to help you to find an internship, and many students do take advantage of that. It has some particular requirements, which we will talk about briefly. Any questions so far? Great. Let me see if I missed a slide here. Okay, we did talk about the 12 units. Okay, so at this stage, you will be at 100%. And I was talking about the ADA, and I mentioned that you have the option to have other concentrations. And as you can see, we have advanced analytics for accountants, which is very popular. And then CPA applied accounting, essentials of leadership, and taxation. Briefly, I'm going to go over these concentration and tell you a bit more. So let's start with advanced analytics for accountants. We already talked about, right? So you know you can take MSBA 305, which is business intelligence analysis. You can take MSBA 328, which is visualization and communication. You can take ITM 304, which is managing data structures, MSBA, advanced statistical analysis. CPA applied accounting, which is something that a lot of students pursue, because not only you get your concentration and your master's degree, you also get ready to sit for the CPA exam. So there are 4 courses for the CPA applied accounting. You will take Accounting 379, which is accounting and tax regulations, Accounting 377, which is financial accounting and reporting, Accounting 380, auditing and attestation, and 378, business environment and concepts. So 4 courses will make you ready for the CPA exam, and also you meet the requirement for your concentration. We have essentials of leadership, again, 4 courses in that area that you really acquire or enhance your leadership knowledge and skills with a focused course of study. There are Leadership 300, Management and Leadership, Personal Leadership, Teamwork in Organizations, and another course that could be an elective in the leadership category. You can go for taxation concentration. You will have advanced federal income taxation, tax research and decision-making, property transactions, and any tax course or internship. So you have different options. And at this stage, when you finish your 12 units, you are at 100% level and you have completed the program. So we already talked about all of this. And again, I know one student is interested in certificate. Definitely you can go for a certificate focusing on one of these concentration. So let's talk about the different modalities that we offer our classes. in. So you can finish your MSADA program either online or hybrid or in person. So when we say online, it is asynchronous. That means completely online. There is no in-person attendance, and there is no time and date that you need to comply with to attend the class. So your attendance is online. That means interacting with other students and contributing to the academic discussion on weekly basis. And usually online courses have one proctored exam. You can take classes in web conferencing modality. Basically, you attend live classes via Zoom video. No on-campus attendance is required. And this type of courses have proctored exams. There are hybrid options, mixed mode or blended. Mixed mode means that the course will have 2 live classes. The faculty will be in person on campus. Students can attend in person or via Zoom. Or you can take a course that is blended. That means every other week, the class takes place on campus live and following week online. Let's talk about web-enhanced courses. You take a course online. As I mentioned, you don't have to show up in the class at any particular time. It's completely flexible, and you can attend the class and do your work based on your own schedule, but usually work needs to be done on a weekly basis for any class. But what do we mean by web enhanced? All these online classes are web enhanced. That means I, as a professor, have video in my course for every week. So every lecture is done prior to the term and provide you guys an audio video lecture. You have notes for your lecture. There are course announcement. There are office hours. It can be flexible or a particular day via Zoom, phone call, academic discussion. Another discussion area, for example, ask the professor. As you can see on the right side, there is presentation. So there are many tools available in online classes to ensure that you have everything you need to have a successful journey in your course. So on your online classes, you may see news related to accounting, a job posting. You can connect with tutors or administrative team if you have any question. You can also access the GGU library. I mentioned that you can do internship program up to 6 units towards the end of your master's program. And in order to be eligible for the internship program, you have to have a 3.0 GPA or higher. It could be a summertime, fall, it could be full-time. So there are a lot of different options, and that qualifies for internship credit. As I mentioned previously, you can take up to 6 units of internship credit. You will be working, you will be getting paid. At the end of your internship, you have to write a report, a paper, and share with the appropriate person at a time who will review your paper and understand the experience that you acquired through this internship and what that means. I want to mention that GGU does not guarantee job placements, but definitely we have had a successful path having students going to different firms, corporations, and so forth. So our students have no difficulty to get a job, but we are not guaranteeing that, okay, come to our school, get our master's, and you will have a job. We guarantee a job. No, we do not do that, but we do anything we can to help you to get a job. We have many professional events, lunch and learn workshops. We have industry-related panels, practice business luncheon, which usually takes place in September, October, fall, career fair, and other recruitment events. During the pandemic, we had Zoom networking events. We have GGU Presents, which is very popular and successful. And I'll talk about that a bit more. So we have had a lot of interesting presentations and talks, and we started this in the beginning of the pandemic. We have done presentations and talks again on interesting topics such as workplace environment in the pandemic world, or cross-cultural negotiation and how to avoid miscommunication, to name a few. Student support services, and Cindy, did you want to take it from here?
I can do that for a minute. I'd be happy to.
Okay, thank you so much.
As Farima mentioned at the opening of this webinar, Golden Gate University is ranked among the top institutions that cater to adult learners, and that recognition is very well deserved. In addition to the exceptional program curricula that it offers and the flexibility it provides to its students, we also afford our students a vast array of student support services. And students do not pay extra for any of these services. They're all included within the tuition that you pay for the education itself. Among them, one of the most unique ones, I feel, is the graduate student advising. Each of our graduate students is assigned to an academic advisor shortly after beginning their program, whether it's certificate program or the formal degree program. And they work with that advisor throughout the course of their degree or certificate. So if you ever have questions about which class to take next, or you want to plan out your degree, you have someone you can turn to who can sort of guide you through your courses and your electives. In addition, we provide tutors for all of the classes that we offer to our students. As Farima mentioned earlier, we have a fabulous career center. They'll work with you on resume preparation, your LinkedIn account and profile. They host multiple career fairs during the year. They're fabulous to work with. If anybody is military, we do have the Helen Diller Center for Veterans. They will help you work through the paperwork and so forth for applying for your VA benefits, as a result of which your education may end up costing you nothing out of pocket. We have great library and research services, as well as tech support. Again, we have a strong alumni network. So if we have people who can mentor you in the field of accounting. Our financial aid department knows their business inside out. And if you have issues on how you're going to finance your degree, they're there to support you. As well as our disability services office and our wellness resource center. They do help with students who, you're balancing a lot of different things as an adult learner, including your job, your family, and school, and it can be stressful. And we have services that we can provide to help support you through this. Next slide.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I can't control
Oh.
it.
no
At your
problem.
mercy.
You
As
covered
I
it.
mentioned, the Career Center will help you with all of the variety of things that you see here, so I won't repeat them. So we can go forward, Farima.
Of course. Applying to GGU?
Yes. So applying to GGU for any of the programs is very straightforward. We have you go to ggu.edu/apply. There you will click on the button that says either graduate degree program or certificate program, or if you wanted to just take a one-off class, you could select open enrollment. You complete your application. We are going to provide you with a waiver code, and I will put that in the chat box at the end of this, so that you don't have to pay the application fee. As long as you have a 3.0 undergraduate GPA or higher, all we need is the application and your official transcript from your degree conferring undergraduate program. If you don't have at least a 3.0 undergraduate GPA, then we will ask you to submit a resume and a statement of purpose. We give you an opportunity to explain the circumstances that you believe contributed to your lower undergraduate GPA. But regardless, I still encourage students to apply because you will be considered, with the additional documentation. If you're applying to the certificate program only or through open enrollment, you just need to submit the application itself. We don't require a transcript. If you're looking for transfer credit from another postgraduate program, we'll have you submit an official transcript from that institution as well. If you're an international student, you do need to satisfy the English language requirement. You can do that in a number of ways, including TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo. I also recommend that students submit their resume along with their application. In addition, if you are foreign credentialed and you got your degree from an institution outside of the United States, we will need to have that certified, and we use WES ICAP at wes.org for certification purposes. There are other ways of satisfying the English language requirement. For example, if you in fact attended an English-speaking university in an English-speaking country and received your degree, that will satisfy the requirement as well. Next slide. Oh, and I'm just ahead of myself on this one.
No, I can pass this.
So yes, so we've already reviewed the proficiencies. So as far as the cost for your programs, the majority of the classes in the accounting program are 3 credits. So each class is $3,270, and you pay as you go. So if you're taking 1 class a term, that would be what the tuition amount is. If it's 2, you would double it. 3 would be considered full-time. If you're working full-time, we ask that you manage the number of classes you're taking. Don't feel that you have to rush through the program. It's okay to take 1 class a term or 2 classes a term. You don't have to feel pressure to take more than that. And as I mentioned earlier, we do have the Diller Center and our VA office who will work with our military folks to help them with in applying their GI benefits or VA benefits. Next slide. As far as financing your degree, there are multiple ways of paying for it if it's not going to be out of pocket. I'll just kind of briefly give you an overview. Your graduate degree does count or does qualify for federal financial aid. This would apply to the formal degree only, not to certificate programs. You might be able to get state aid, again, military benefits, private loans. We do oftentimes find that employers are willing to assist their employees with tuition. We do have our Student Accounting Services Office that works very closely with students and their employers through our employer tuition reimbursement program. And with that, we try to help you minimize your out-of-pocket exposure for tuition if you're going to be reimbursed by your employer. Again, all of this goes through our financial aid office. They're incredibly knowledgeable and very responsive if you have questions. Next slide. Important dates. So Golden Gate University operates on a trimester system. We have 3 15-week terms. Our fall term starts in September, it just started last week, and it ends in December. The spring term will start in January and go until April, and the summer term starts in May and ends in August. We accept our applications on a rolling basis. We give priority consideration to those applications that are received no later than 15 business days prior to the start of the term. I like to encourage prospective students to get their applications in early. Not only does it give them that peace of mind that they're going to be starting the program, and especially adult learners, giving them the mindset of, hey, I'm going back to school. But it also gives you the opportunity to register early as soon as registration opens up. Registration for the spring term will, as you can see, will open up November 7th, and summer will open May 2nd. And I'll just add that we are currently accepting applications for all of those terms. So with that, I think we'll go ahead. We have plenty of time to open it up for questions that you all may have.
That's correct. And here you have our contact information.
And I'm going to go ahead and put that waiver code in the chat box. So when you are ready to apply, you can submit it with this waiver code. And that will, that's our way of thanking you for attending today's seminar. It will waive it's up to $65, which is the cost for the application for the formal degree program. But it's also applicable to the certificate program.
Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
This is Roxanne. And so I was interested in the certificate program for, let's see, CPA applied accounting. And I know right now, like I mentioned, I have a bachelor's degree in liberal studies. I've never studied accounting in college. So I know right now I'm going to need those prerequisites, all of them.
Correct.
If I wanted to apply, would I be applying as an undergraduate, or would I still be applying to the certificate, the graduate certificate?
You will be applying to the graduate certificate because no matter what, you do have an undergrad degree.
Okay.
What you need to do, since you do not have any accounting background, you need to fulfill the proficiency requirement. For example, you have to have Math 20, Econ 1 or Econ 2, and also you have to have a finance proficiency, which is Finance 100.
So I don't see those on the Golden Gate University website under the certificate program. I didn't see those specific prerequisites listed under CPA applied accounting graduate certificate. You mentioned.
Did you just see the 12 units that you have to take, which
I see the 12 units of core courses, but then I see 15 units of prerequisite. Right. And the ones you just mentioned are not the prerequisite.
That is our general proficiency that we usually require from students to have. We need to look at your records and to see if you, for example, have writing proficiency or math proficiency because you're coming to a graduate program. As you mentioned, you are looking at the certificate for CPA applied certificate. And not only you have to take the required courses, you need to have the core courses, which you do not have, right?
Right.
Okay. I am looking at the admission requirements right now. And there is a graduate writing proficiency requirement. But I am happy to look into this in detail and get back to you that what that means for a certificate. We need to have English language proficiency also.
She should be fine with that based on her undergraduate degree.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
undergrad is liberal arts
Yeah.
degree you mentioned, so you should be fine with that. But you need to have the accounting core courses because you do not have it, and you also need to have an undergrad GPA of 3.0 for the certificate also.
Roxanne, some of these things as well, you may want to check into the CPA exam requirements, because a lot of these things may be things you will need for licensure anyway. And you'll need to reach those 150 credit hours to get your CPA license. The nice thing about the certificate in applied accounting is that each section of that you take is going to prepare you for that section of the CPA exam, and you will receive not only instruction on that part of the exam as part of your tuition, but you'll also get the Becker materials for the commercial accounting prep class. And you'll get the materials not only for that one section of the exam that you're studying for, but you'll get it for all 4 sections of the CPA exam. And then as you take each class, if that's the way you choose to do it, then you'll actually be preparing for that section of the CPA exam.
But I'm going to add that this 12-unit certificate gives you the fundamental accounting knowledge. You have done the 4 parts and you have access to the Becker, but not necessarily qualifies you to sit for the CPA exam. This is quite important to note because that is why our master's program is super desirable, because a lot of students do have undergrad degree. They think, oh, if I take few accounting courses, I can sit for the CPA exam, but that is not the case. You need to have 150 hours of credit, and there are required courses that the candidate must have and taken in the programs that they have been part of. I haven't looked at your undergrad degree. I don't transcript. I don't know what sort of courses you have taken, but there are a lot of business courses that you need to have in order to fulfill the CPA candidacy requirement. So I want you to be aware of that also. We can, as you work with an advisor, they can take a look at your records and see where you stand and how this certificate will contribute to your ultimate goal, which is, I think, becoming a CPA, right, Roxanne?
I think having a CPA would definitely expand my the roles that I can apply to, professionally. I think, right now I'm kind of stuck in like an accounting specialist or clerk type role, and I'm almost 50 years old, and that's not where I want to stay.
I understand.
But it sounds like, Farima, you mentioned that I might be more interested in a master's degree rather than the certificate. Is that kind of where you were going with that?
Yeah, I mean, this is what I have been telling a lot of students, applicants, that just because you need to take a lot of units anyway, since your background is not accounting.
Right.
And just with another 18 units, right, you can have a master's degree versus a certificate.
Yeah.
And that gives you an edge over
Better.
others, provides you with a wealth of knowledge in the chosen courses. You will be very marketable, and I'm pretty sure you can easily get into the corporate world and do accounting with that degree. If you don't want to go to the path of auditing or taxes in a CPA firm.
What's the name of that master's degree that would also cover CPA?
It's a CPA applied accounting.
Okay.
It's a concentration.
Yeah.
I might,
So we
I
have
would
CPA
consider
applied accounting concentration. We have taxation concentration, advanced analytics for accountants, and essentials of leadership. As I mentioned, our analytics concentration and also CPA applied accounting is quite popular.
Okay, thank you.
And then Farima, Catalina has asked a question about whether the prerequisites can be completed at the undergraduate level.
Which prerequisite you are referring to? Accounting 1A and 1B, they are undergrad. Accounting 100A, 100B, they are undergrad.
Mhm.
So absolutely.
And just to follow up with something that Roxanne was talking about, when you do apply for your CPA license, so as Farima mentioned, you have to have 150 educational hours. Your undergraduate degree probably satisfies 120 of those unless you took some extra classes. So a master's degree program is typically 30 credits. So that would bring you to the 150 to get you to what you would need to be licensed. But again, there are some specific courses that you need to meet those requirements.
Any other questions? Okay, if we are here to answer any questions that you may have.
Oh,
Happy to
yeah, Catalina has another question about whether the prerequisites could be completed at a community college.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it can be completed in a community college, definitely.
This is Mike with the admissions office. I would like to give you a general suggestion, and I think it's very helpful to all of the applicants as well. The first step for all of you, because after today's webinar, you will be receiving a follow email with the application code waiver. And as you know, Cindy has also reviewed the application code waiver for you to jumpstart the process. The first step for all of you, you want to think about whether the MSADA or the accounting programs at GGU is a fit for you. And if the answer is yes to you, the next step for you is to submit an online application to initialize the admissions process. The reason is because after you have submitted an application, you'll be assigned with an enrollment counselor who will walk through with you throughout the admissions process. This is especially important for international students and students with foreign credentials, because after you have submitted your application, our enrollment counselor will read through the applications you submitted along with the information. And when we see your submitted application with the country-specific or foreign credentials, our enrollment counselor will reach back to you regarding the exact items needed in order to push for review. For domestic students, this is important for you as well, because when we receive the official transcripts from you, from your US university, our in-house evaluators, our in-house evaluation team will be able to determine what kind of classes that you had in your undergraduate is useful or transferable to waive or transferable to fulfill the undergraduate proficiency requirements. So first step for you, submit the online applications to initialize the admissions process, and we'll be guiding you step by step onward.
Thank you, Mike.
Please feel free to unmute yourself. And if you have any questions, do not shy away and speak up. We are here for you.
Oh, I believe it's Kanika wants to know if the CPA program is taken as you take each exam. Do you know how Professor Lord teaches that?
That's not true. You are not.
No, that's what she's asking.
Yeah, no, that's not how you would do it. You would take the CPA exam whenever you are ready. You could be done with the program, your master's program, and take the CPA exam on your own schedule. We do have students who are in the master's program, and towards the end, they take the CPA exam. So that is completely flexible. You do not take the exams as part of the program. Does
No,
that
but-
answer your question?
I think what's being asked is, for instance, if Professor Lord is teaching FAR, would he be teaching FAR in a, just prior to the time FAR is going to be offered, and so students can take it then if they want, or I'm
As
not
an
sure what his
exam, no,
scheduling is.
we do not coordinate
You don't.
our
Okay.
schedule with the CPA exam. We're just offering these courses.
Okay.
Any other question?
Pooja, do you have any questions yourself as an F1 student?
No, Mike, thank you. I got all my doubts clear. So thanks.
Sounds good.
Excellent, Pooja.
Yeah, thank you.
I just want to share with you that I was an international student 40 years ago myself.
Oh,
So you become part of GGU family, feel free to come to me with any questions and concerns. I'm here to support you.
thank you, Farima.
Catalina's also asking, what days and times do the courses typically meet?
Oh, that's a really something that I cannot answer fully. We have classes that may meet on Tuesday or Thursday or Wednesday, so it all depends. It's usually in the afternoon. Sometimes courses start at 5, sometimes at 7. But if you're looking at a mixed mode course, for example, with 2 in-person requirement, that would be in the evenings and sometimes mostly Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Usually we do not have classes on Fridays.
And keep in mind, Catalina, some of these classes, as was discussed earlier, are in an asynchronous format with a pre-recorded lecture. So there's no formal in-person attendance.
We do have a course in data analytics area that the faculty is based in Florida. He teaches one of these courses on Friday afternoon, and it alternates every other week. So you want to be aware of that if you're interested in taking a data analytics. But say out of 15 weeks course, you're attending, say, 7 sessions via Zoom on a Friday, and that would be about 4 or 5 o'clock our time.
And it's a very popular class.
Absolutely.
All right, well, if there are no other questions, as Mike said, you're going to receive a follow-up email from us. We'll send you a link to the recording, and again, in case you didn't catch it, we'll send you the application fee waiver code.
Absolutely. And I'm putting my email address here in the chat. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I'm happy to chat with you and help you further. With that, we can finish this webinar, and thank you so much for attending, and we'll be in touch.